everyone, Kendall here with Lousy Llama Creations. Today we are crocheting a dinosaur. I know, finally, I've been asked to do dinosaurs forever, probably years at this point, and we finally have a dinosaur design that I am very happy with. If you've been following these videos for a while, you might have seen the past couple videos and seen that I've been having some medical issues, including hand tremors, for crocheting, which makes it very difficult. Because of that, I've been stitching together video clips of previous videos and putting it all together to make the kit that you are watching today. I know this is frustrating. It's certainly not what I want. I just find that with hand weakness and tremors, crocheting isn't really happening right now. But that's okay, because we can put it all together, past videos and pieces, and get this. If you are following one of my crochet kits, which I send out monthly in the mail, you will have access to a full PDF pattern with step-by-step all the written instructions and additional pictures that you'll want. For supplies, you're going to be needing green, 10mm safety eyes, blue, red, and yellow. But I'd say you could probably get crazy with the colors, and I think it'd be just as cute. You'll also need stuffing, stitch markers, scissors, tapestry needle, and a 5mm crochet hook. In all the clips, I know you might hear things like bee and bird and all these different animals. Just keep on watching. I promise all the words that are being said besides the animal name is correct. So when it says crochet for 3 rounds, it's accurate, it's true. Just gonna turn out with a different dinosaur. I think that's all the housekeeping, so let's jump in and get making.
I'm going to take my crochet hook. I have my yarn. This is our tail, our dead end, the end of your yarn. This is the yarn that's attached to the ball or the skein. You're going to take it and wrap it around your hand to form an X. You're going to hold it in the middle. Hook goes under, then over, and we're going to scoop this underneath. Just like that. We're going to twist it up and pull it off our hands. And then do this thing called a chain, which is when we pull our yarn through our loop. So I'm going to put the yarn on the crochet hook and pull through. And that's our magic ring. But let me show you again. I have my tail, wrap around to make an X, hold in the middle, under, over, pull through, twist up, and then do our chain. We're then going to make 6 single crochets in this loop. Our single crochets are one of the smallest, most basic stitches of crochet. You'll find it in tons of the stuffed animal or amigurumi patterns. Crocheters love single crochets. To do one, you're going to insert your hook in the middle of the loop, yarn over, which is when we place the yarn on top of the hook, pull through. So we have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and then pull through both loops. And that's 1 single crochet. So again, I'm going to go through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both loops, and that's a second. Through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. That was stitch 3. So I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6. Each stitch is this little V, a little oval. Can't see it too well on the sides. If I pull it apart a little bit, you can see that's a stitch. I'm going to take my tail and pull it so that it actually forms this cute little ring. And now we have the start of our crochet piece. These are our stitch markers, which are like little clothespin, safety pin looking things. Safety pins, not clothespins. Looking things. We're going to attach it into the last stitch that we made, that V. Close it up. This is going to help us find the beginning and the end when we're working in our rounds. Because we're going to be working in a spiral, so we're just going to keep on going around and around and around. So this will make sure we know the beginning and the end of each round. Our magic ring with the 6 single crochets, that was 1 round. So now we're going on to round 2, which according to our pattern says increase 6 times. An increase is just 2 single crochets next to each other. So we have 6 stitches. At the end of round 2, we should have 12. So we're going to put 2 stitches in each of the 6, so that we have 12. So we're just doubling it. I'm going to insert my hook into the first stitch that we made. The first one's always a little tight. It's not you, it's the crochet piece. Just kind of wiggle, stick it in. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through again. So I have 1 single crochet. Before we move on, I'm going to stick my crochet hook in the same stitch and do another single crochet. So now we have 2 in 1 stitch. I like to picture it like a little flower, so we have like a small beginning, but then we want even petals on the side, so it kind of gets bigger evenly. I'm going to move to the next stitch. Again, I'm working in a spiral, so I'm literally just scooting over and do another increase. So that's 1 single crochet, and then in the same hole, doing a second. And then I'll do that again. And again. Moving over. I'm in my last one, and this is my cat Cashew. He likes to help with videos sometimes. I'm sure his sister Peanut's gonna help too. I'm gonna take out my stitch marker. I'm gonna do our increase. And then I'm gonna put the stitch marker back in to the new end of the round. So we're kind of moving it up each time. And now we have this small little circle, which is round 1 and round 2. You should have 12 single crochets at the end of this round. And you can count them by looking at those V's. Grab my tapestry needle. So like that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do this all the way around, so you have 12. The next round, round 3, it says we're going to do a single crochet and then an increase. And there's a comma in that bracket, which is important. So in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet. And then we're done with that. In the next stitch, that comma means we're moving over. We're going to be doing an increase, which is again those 2 single crochets. So this repetition for the round is a little series of 3. 1 and then an increase. Or in my head, sometimes I'll say double. So 1 and then a double. And we're going to repeat this. So the next stitch, we're going to do 1. And then the next stitch, a double or an increase. And we're going to do this for the whole round. So 1 and then a double. One, then a double. And I know I'm crocheting fast. Hey, I've done it since I was 14 years old. don't forget, 1, pause this video. I will still be here for you. As well as that in the corner, the little gears button, you can change the speed. So yeah, I'll sound a little funny, but you can watch me slow down these stitches and it might be a little easier. You can see at the end I removed my stitch marker, did my last increase, and then want to put it back. And our circle's getting a little rounder, a little bigger. You can tell it kind of curls up a little bit. That's okay. That's normal. No biggie. If it's curling up a lot, you might have messed up the pattern a little bit. You might have put too many increases. So you might want to take it out and kind of make sure you're counting. At the end of this row, you should have 18. Another thing to remember, this is our tail from that very beginning magic ring. This is the inside. So if you're looking at it and you're like, mine's kind of ugly. My stitches aren't clean. This tail's in the way. What am I doing? Boop. Just turn it around. If you followed my tutorial for my crochet plants, a lot of people will show me their crocheted pot and they'll be like, hey, mine's ugly and it doesn't sit weird and it sits super weird and it's off. And then I'm like, flip it inside out. Boom. They did amazing work and they did it right. You just gotta flip it around. Next round, you're gonna start seeing a pattern here. It says 2 single crochets and then an increase. So single crochet 2 is different than an increase. So we're gonna do 1, 1, and then an increase. In newer crochet patterns, as in the past 10 years, you'll notice the word increase. Sometimes people use 2 single crochets instead. I find that confusing. If you follow any Lousy Llama crochet patterns, I will always say increase versus single crochet 2. If I'm saying single crochet 2, I mean 1 and then 1 and then an increase. Well, let's not get confusing here. So we're gonna do 1, 1, and then an increase. 1, 1, and then an increase. And we'll do this for the whole round. One, 1, increase. 1, 1, increase. 1, 1, take out the marker, increase. And then put it back in. And now we have a bigger circle. Again, you can see mine curving a little bit. That's okay. Okay, I'm at the end of the round. And now instead of doing more increases, we're going to do rounds of single crochets. So a little tip, instead of putting this through the stitch like we normally do, I'm actually going to put it on the side of the stitch. That way we don't have to move it every single round. This works when we're doing 1 single crochet in every stitch. Not so much when you're doing something precise like 2 single crochets and then an increase, because you want that to be really exact. But for this, it's okay if it's not. So we're not going to do any increases. We're just going to do 5 rounds of single crochet. So you're literally just going to do 1 single crochet in every single stitch. We'll do this for 5 rounds, but I'll show you when we get around to the stitch marker how we're kind of ignoring it and continuing on. This also works because we're crocheting in a spiral instead of joining for each round. We just continuously keep on working. All right, coming around, I'm not going to move my stitch marker. I'm just continuing to crochet. See? And now I can see I did 1. So I'm going to go around 5 times, and it sort of lines up with the stitch marker. So go ahead and single crochet for 5 rounds. Okay, this was 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I kind of lined it up with the stitch marker. Now I'm going to take this out and put it back in our stitch because our next round is going to be more precise like we did earlier. The next round is going to be 3 single crochets and then an increase. So similar to the 2 single crochets and then an increase, but with 3. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. And we'll repeat that for a total of 6 times all the way around. 1, 2, 3, increase. 2, 3, increase. I also want to take a note here, if my piece looks bigger than yours, I'm using some spare yarn I have, which I believe is a little different than the yarn you have in your kits. This yarn is feeling very stiff today. I'm not exactly sure why. But if you're like, mine's coming out smaller, don't worry, that's completely normal. This is just really stiff today. Okay, coming around the end, taking out our marker, doing the last increase. Yeah, it looks so big. My sample was not this big. Now I'm going to put my stitch marker on the side again because we're going to be doing more rounds of single crochet if I can get it. We are going to do 6 rounds of single crochets. So just 1 single crochet in every stitch for a total of 6 rounds. Now you can see our piece is starting to actually look like a bird, or at least a blob, which I think birds look like. Popping in to talk about the eyes, you'll want to place the eyes between rows 5 and 6. Between rows 5 and 6, about 9 stitches apart. I count over, place it on. Then you clip the washer around the back, just squeeze it hard. You should hear like a little clicking noise usually, but that is where the eyes should go. And go ahead and continue making the body. We're going to repeat the same thing like backwards. So our last round of increases was 3 single crochets increase. Now we're going to do 3 single crochets decrease. So I'm going to do 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then a decrease. For a decrease, I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, kind of like the beginning of a single crochet. Instead of finishing it off, I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch next to it. Yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Because you're combining 2 stitches, you'll want to make sure you pull a little extra tight when you're making it, just because you're literally pulling your crochet piece closer together. And if they're loose, you'll see the stuffing. So I'll do my 3 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease, insert, yarn over, pull through, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. And you're going to repeat this for the round. So 1, 2, 3, decrease, 1, 2, 3, decrease, 1, 2, 3, decrease, 1, 2, 3, and then our very last decrease for the round. The next round is going to be 2 single crochets and then a decrease. So 1, 2, decrease, all the way around, pulling nice and tight. 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, 1, 2, decrease, and 1, 2, taking out our marker, decrease. Next round is probably what you would have guessed, 1 single crochet and then a decrease. I know it's getting tight, it's getting stiff, but you are physically pulling your piece together, so hang in there, it's okay. This takes a little bit getting used to. 1 single crochet and then a decrease. Decreases was something that took me a little bit to master as a beginner. They used to be really loose, so you can like see all my stuffing. It takes a lot to like remember to tighten your tension and do things a little differently. That's okay. One of the cool parts about this project is that the decreases are on the bottom. So if your top is pretty, no one's really gonna see the bottom, especially if you have it displayed on like a little shelf or something or on your desk. No one really sees it. Okay. 1 more decrease. Okay, we're gonna pause here for a sec and we're actually gonna stuff our little bird. I have my pouch of stuffing. We're not gonna need all of this. The best stuffing technique is to pull apart into small clumps and place it individually. That way you kind of have control over the shape. And it also uses less stuffing. If you just ball the whole thing up, you'll use all the stuffing, but you actually don't really need it, especially if you want it to remain nice and fluffy. So I'm just gonna keep on pulling small clumps. Obviously placing at the head first, because that's further away. And then the body. I want my bird Blitz to be as round as possible. So I'm going to stuff him extra on the sides. I'm also, you can tell when I'm stuffing, I kind of pull my working yarn away. If you stuff it inside, that's fine. You'll just have to pull it out and that might pull out some of the stuffing. So it's just kind of easier if you pull it around before. Okay, he's getting there. It's looking like a little pill or looks like a peep, really, is what it looks like. Well, we don't got peeps here. He is Blitz the bird, so he's gonna have to look like a bird. I'm shaping him, kind of forming his neck a little bit more. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Cute. Yeah, see, this is all the extra stuffing. You'll have extra stuffing. On the bottom, we need to do 6 decreases. The bottom is difficult. The last round of decreases is usually difficult. It's hard to see and you might skip some stitches, and that's okay. We're just gonna try to get 6 decreases. If you don't, that is a-okay. And you'll just close it up a different way. So I'm gonna do 1. I kind of pinch mine, even though we worked so hard on the shaping. We'll fix it at the end, because it's easier for me to get my hook into my stitches. So my second decrease out of 6. 3. Oh yeah, it's tight. 4. 5. Oh, I think that's all I got right now. I don't think I can fit the 6th one because of how tight it is, and that's okay. The hole's still pretty small. I'm gonna fasten off, so cut that nice long tail, pull our loop through, and we're gonna sew up the bottom. So if your bottom's a little gappy, has some spaces in it, no big deal. You can fix it now. Put my tail on my needle. And you can close the bottom however you want. I like doing it the cinch closure way, which means I'm going to go in all the stitches on the outside and pull tight. Just like that, and pull. I'm going to add a knot just so it doesn't come undone. Slide my knot all the way to the end. Boom. Now we don't just want to cut our yarn because it can come undone. We're going to do this thing called hiding our tails. With a 3D object like Blitz, it's super easy. My tail's on my tapestry needle. I'm going to poke right through where our tail is. Make sure a couple inches through and poke out anywhere else. Don't pull too tight, you'll change the shape. And then you can cut this off. So now for it to come undone, it's going to have to come out multiple inches and through the knot and through the fastening off, and that's more unlikely. The belly, you're going to start the exact same way you started the frog. Well, his body, I suppose. Magic ring, chain 1, 6 single crochets, then 6 increases, and then 1 single crochet, 1 increase. The exact same way you start at the top. Literally the exact same. You're going to do those 4 rounds in pink and then cut your tail. Then you'll sew it right onto the frog. For the arms and the legs, it's going to be a magic ring, 6 single crochets, and that's it. Just like you started everything else. So you make that magic ring, the chain 1, 6 single crochets, 3, 4, 5, 6, pull tight, nice long piece. That's it. You'll make 4 of those. You'll want to make 4 of those 1, 2, 3, 4 little arms, but then you will also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 make 6 on the back. You can also add a few more if you decide. I liked 6, I thought it looked good, but those will also be your spikes. They're the exact same as the hands and the feet. Alrighty, for the tail, I'm showing you in this red, but you'll want to do it in green for our dinosaur. You'll do that magic ring, just like in the beginning of the video. Go back and watch it if you need help. That chain 1, and then 6 magic rings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And close it up. Next round, you're going to crochet 1 stitch in each stitch. 1 single crochet in every stitch. So we have 6 right now. We're going to have 6 at the end. Put in my hook and make 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's going to start flipping on you a little bit. Go ahead and turn that out so that your tail is on the inside. The next round is going to be 6 increases. Remember that increase is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. I always count to 12 when I do it. So I do 1 single crochet, and then a second, and then 3, and 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. For the next 5 rounds, you're going to do 1 single crochet in every stitch. So don't forget to put that stitch marker on. You're just going to place one single crochet in every stitch all the way around. Fasten off, and your tail should look like this. For the nose, it is very similar to the belly, and I already put that clip in. You're going to do that magic ring with 6 single crochets, then 6 increases, then 1 single crochet, 1 increase. Exact same as the belly. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, all the way around. But our belly's flat, so then you'd fasten off for the belly. For the nose, you have to add this. So you're going to single crochet in each stitch for 3 rounds. Easy peasy. So we have 6 single crochets, 6 increases, 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and then 3 rounds of single crochet. For assembling, I just want to give you some close-ups. I first embroidered these red stripes all the way down on the tail. I did them kind of in and out in different lengths, just so it kind of give more textured design. And then I sewed my blue spikes on top. That was, of course, after I sewed on the tail and the nose. So I guess nose, tail, embroider the red, add the blue, belly, and the arms and legs. I decided not to put anything on the nose. I could not get it to look right, but you should have extra yarn if you decide you want to add some embroidery on the nose, make it a little different. But good job making your dinosaur, and this is relatively what it should look like.
Thank you so much for joining me today as we made this dinosaur. Again, these are not the videos I have been wanting to produce, which is why they've kind of been later and later, but this is where we're at right now, and I do want to make sure you're still having some crochet fun. So thank you for sticking with me through all of this. It means a lot. Obviously, this has been happening a lot longer than I thought it would, but we're hanging in there, we're figuring it out and adapting. I am still posting over at TikTok at Llama Creations. That's where I post new products, more about my magic ring guides, just like additional things happening at the business. But thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, if you could please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel and other crocheters find my tutorials. My name is Kendall, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!